storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Will Smith. Willard. Will Smith in his interview with David Letterman talked about how he did ayahuasca. It's a tea that's very spiritual. It's very strong. A lot of times it makes people sick. It makes them vomit. Now, you know, the black people I've heard that took it. See, that's how I know. Maybe it is something different with black people spiritually versus white people. I'm just saying. Stay with me. Because when the black people take this ayahuasca, or people of color, yeah, they get sick, but they mostly have visions. They mostly like vibrate on a higher level. Like they be having positive experiences overall, right? But then when Wonder Bread take this ayahuasca tea, they be seeing the devil. They be said they got transported into hell. They be chased by demons. They be breaking down crying. So I'm just trying to figure out what is it spiritually that's going on where we ascend with this strong ass tea and they be going into hell. What is it? But anyway, I ain't no Wonder Bread, so it ain't none of my business to find out. So I'm gonna, mind my pumpernickel business and be a pumpernickel now. But back to this pumpernickel. Now, Will said, he took the tea. He's done it a bunch of times before, but this last time he saw a vision of all his money leaving him, and he saw his career being ruined. He saw change happening. He saw, Willow going further and further away from him, more into that poly lifestyle. He saw. And this was way before he went and decided to, slap the shit out of Chris. And so here's the thing. Okay, well, you had all these visions, but in these visions, did these visions ever show you that Jada didn't love you? In any of these visions of any time you took this tea, did it show heavy meat ass August digging Jada out and her screaming in ways that you could never make her scream? I just want to know, in the visions that you had, did it show that you would just be perpetually crying and emasculated by a woman that, well, you say you love and she say she love you, but never really truly did? In all those visions, did it tell you how you really needed to divorce your wife and let her go and let her be free and go hang out with that YouTube chick that you really is fucking with for real, and marry her because you'll probably get more respect out of her? See, one thing about it, once your woman don't respect you, you can't make her respect you. It's never gonna happen. And I know that's been something you always struggle with, because you could accomplish so many things in your career and you were this strong ass man in your career, but at home, your wife, who was not accomplished 1/10 of what you have, made you feel this small. And whether you realize it or not, Willard, you inadvertently married your father. That's some tea for your ass. See, a lot of people want to make fun of him for being emasculated and for him crying and this, that, and the third. And I'm not. I'm just, I do what I do, but I do it for a reason. See, here's the thing, Willard. You've been out here working and being very successful since the age of 18, 19 years old. And when you are a very successful young black professional and you own your P's and Q's and you intelligent, what ends up happening usually is that you never really have time to deal with your emotional damage and your emotional trauma. But now that work has finally slowed down and you can't hide behind a movie or this or that and the third, and the kids is grown, and you and the wife ain't been you and the wife in a real long time, and y'all both getting dug out on opposite sides of the home with the sounds reverberating in that big ass house. Now you have to finally deal with the shit that you have been suppressing for the last 30 some odd years. And so I'm glad you had these visions when you took this ayahuasca, but I just truly feel like, well, damn, maybe you didn't drink enough of the tea, because it should have shown you that you should have left her and started over a long time ago. I mean, I ain't talking about nobody kids, but it says it's something to be said when the one that is the most normal, you didn't really even have a hand in raising like that. And so, sometimes you got to throw them kids away. You got to throw that whole wife away, and you got to start over. Them nuts still work. Don't tell me Jada convinced you into getting them snipped. Now, them nuts work. Them nuts still working. So what you need to do is go and heal and go find you somebody else and start over with a family and be the man in the house and actually run shit, and don't let them run around with pink hair and skirt person in bed with white men at 13 and 14 years old. Don't let them do that. You regret doing that now. You know, you got your whole child at 15 talking about, it's time for me to leave this house. What kind of black household was your ass running? I forgot you was never running that household. Your wife, who you married, who been in the streets since she was a child and who had been rubbing her clit since she was a child, she was running the motherfucking house, and you was never gonna be able to tell her nothing, Will. Even when y'all first started dating and she was cussing around you and you took the newspaper and you smothered her in the nose like a doll, you think she forgot that? She ain't never forgot that. You thought it was over? You thought you was doing something? You could never do nothing. A woman that raises and protects herself, is nothing you can do for her. She doesn't respect you. You're not strong enough, because really she can handle and take care of herself. She really don't even want to be in a marriage. How many other ways do she got to tell you? She took one of the biggest dicks in the industry, and that still didn't tell you to leave. Well, it's time to go. You can drink all the tea. You can go to all the Buddhist this and the doctor that, and they're gonna tell you the same thing I'm telling you. It's time to go. But you don't want to be a failure. You don't want a divorce. But you know when y'all should have divorced when y'all first got married, and when y'all first started having sex and you couldn't make her come, and then y'all got married and you still had never made her come. That's where August came in. I'm just letting her know. And you know, she couldn't come unless she thought of Tupac. I'm just saying, my whole point is, if you gotta have sex with somebody 10 times in a day to make them come and they still don't come, I don't think you was just I just don't think you can please her. She just mentally was not there with you and never connected, but hung in there because you trapped her with them kids. Because yes, ladies, we trap y'all too. You didn't want to lose her. She was like the cheerleader that you wanted, instead of you being with the nice girl that suited your motherfucking ass. And now you half a damn century in is a damn emotional wreck, crying every 5 minutes with your wife that got a tighter jaw than you, and y'all just look a hot ass mess. And this is what happens when you basically sell your soul for money and stay in a situation that you're not happy in. That shit ages you. Here's the thing: don't let these folks tell you online to stay in relationships that are detrimental to your mental and emotional health. Ladies and gentlemen that is watching me, if that shit ain't working, leave that motherfucker. We ain't trying to look like what we've been through, and I'm known for cutting off motherfucker, and you need to learn how to do the same. Willard.
It's Storm Show. Ay, it's Storm Show.